What's up, everybody? It's the Alex Leak and Friends NBA podcast. Back for another week. I'm your host, Alex Leak, and we got a special guest on the show. We got Ricky G. What's up, Ricky G?
What's going on, Alex? I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, good to have you on. Tell us a little bit about your background. I mean, I know you've watched a lot of basketball. You've seen it all, right?
Well, I started watching it probably about when I was about 10 years old, so about 1968. I started watching, and I've seen them all. I've seen every NBA player play since 1968 to today. And then I grew up with 2 first-round draft picks. I'm from a town that had Lonnie Shelton and Freddie Boyd. And Freddie Boyd is interesting because his backcourt mate was Pistol Pete Maravich. So there were some ties in with Maravich. And then being around Lonnie, playing against him in the summer leagues.
That's awesome.
You know, so I was exposed to the NBA at a very young age.
Yeah.
And then as I played a little bit, I was, a decent high school player. Had some Pac-10 recruiting. Oregon State fell out. And then went to a JC and then had some issues. That team, by the way, I was a starter that won a state championship. There's some talent on that team.
Damn.
But and then I just got involved with, coaches have been around guys. And then I had a son that was a pretty good player that was ranked in AAU. And he happened to be in the class of 06, which was Curry, KD, Lopez twins, all them guys.
Nice. Yeah, so, I mean, my first memories of the game really, I was pretty young. Was like 1995. I was like 8 or 9, watching Jordan come back with number 45, and then his last 3 championships. But I mean, I love the game. I started following Hoops and Brews, and then through Hoops and Brews, I was seeing your interactions with them, and I had to give you an ad because I liked a lot of the stuff you had to say on Twitter. So.
Appreciate that. I love Hoops and Brews. They're my guys.
Yeah, they're awesome.
They're my 2 sons from another mother, but that's okay.
Well, so let's get into this one. I mean, this will be the 2020 NBA Finals preview. The LA Lakers and the Miami Heat. Now, first I want to get your opinion on the NBA bubble, the restart, all the unprecedented stuff that went on. What was your opinion of the restart? It seems to go pretty smoothly. I think it was surprisingly competitive for being off for a couple months. And, overall, a great success. Do you agree?
I do. I'm a little surprised that the bubble was pulled off as good as it was. I didn't think it would be this good. Now, after saying that, the defense in the bubble in the early games was atrocious.
Yeah.
And if you leave NBA players open or let them to walk in, to a 3-point shot, you're going to get killed. And the shooting percentages went through the roof. But the shooting percentages all changed a little bit when the dudes showed up and started guarding.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. The defense is a big part in the NBA. If you don't get it and you have wide open shots, these guys are going to hit it all day.
Exactly. And defense is everything when you get to the end. I mean, well, I'm sure you read my tweets. I don't like the little guard. I don't like the little guards. It's all about defense. The NBA playoff today is wings with length, and wings with length eat people up. It's just the way it is.
That's an interesting take. What was your thoughts on MVP Derrick Rose? Did you think he was a good enough size to do it? I was a huge Rose fan.
Let me tell you something. Derrick Rose, before he got hurt, his explosion. The only player I think I've ever seen in person that had better explosion than Derrick Rose was Allen Iverson.
Wow.
Russell Westbrook's is on his level. Allen Iverson had the most explosive first step crossover that I've ever seen. And second place isn't close.
That's crazy. Iverson was so much fun to watch in his day.
Especially freedom of movement. Could you imagine trying to guard Iverson today? No chance.
Oh, my God. The touch fouls and all that and the freedom movement, Now, do you buy into it all, the asterisk talk about this championship run?
I'm on the opposite side.
Yeah.
I think this is the toughest championship to win.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, first of all, let's go back to the season. You got the Lakers, you got the Bucks, you got a couple other teams that were on a roll. I mean, it was Lakers and Bucks before the stoppage.
Mm-hmm.
They were on a roll. Now you ask these two teams to stop. Now you give everybody a break, and now you bring them in and say, let's start over. And then you're going to lock these cats up in a bubble.
Yeah.
I mean, these cats got to have nightlife. They got to, they can't, you just can't lock dudes up like that. So I got to be honest with you. Whoever wins this chip, if it's the Lakers or Miami, whatever, to me, as long as they play 4 out of 7 every round, I'm good with it.
Yeah, exactly. Man, all I wanted out of this playoff, out of this bubble, was a Lakers-Clippers 7-game series, and I didn't get it. What do you think was the biggest reason why we didn't get it?
Well, the Clippers are interesting.
Yeah.
I think, including me, we got sold a bill of goods. First of all, when they had the signing and they got their dudes, we was sold that this is going to be a lockdown defense.
Yeah.
That never materialized. Number one. Number two, Doc said yesterday that he had got a roster that didn't fit. What that means is, what he just told us was, Patrick Beverly was a big disappointment, couldn't run the point, and they ran a team without a point guard, and it cost them. And then they built their team to beat LeBron, and they totally disrespected the rest of the league, and they got caught with their own arrogance and got beat.
Yeah, it was shocking to me. I mean, I think that Kawhi looked at Paul George and said, that can be my Pippen, and we can lock down defense. And I just don't think Paul George is that level.
I don't know. Paul George is when you break his game down, skill sets,
mm-hmm.
he's an elite player.
Yeah.
Now is this playoff Paul George a thing? Maybe it is. I don't know. But Paul George does a lot of other things other than points that people don't give him credit for. Mm-hmm. Now, he was a disappointment. I mean, let's not beat around the bush. Lou Williams was a disappointment. Trez was a disappointment.
Yeah.
Lou Williams and Trez didn't show up.
Yeah. Yeah, that whole team really, even Kawhi and Paul George, especially that last game, I expected them to make a big run in that fourth quarter and make a game of it, and they just really didn't. Kawhi, that last game of Kawhi was pretty shocking to me.
I think he felt the pressure.
Yeah. Now, going to the East, going to the Heat, they came out of the East. What do you think of this Heat team? I mean, they go through, the league MVP, Giannis, and the Bucks. They take them down. And they take down Brad Stevens' Celtics, which, Brad Stevens is supposed to be one of the best coaches in the league. What do you think of the Heat going through the East?
The Heat is an interesting team. First of all, they're well coached. They may have the best coach in the East.
Yeah. And
they got a team that's interesting. They don't have that dude, but they got a lot of good players with a lot of good – they fit. And then let's be honest. We didn't see Hero coming like this.
Yeah.
So, we didn't see that. But they got – the Heat is an interesting team. Now, they beat the Bucks, and they beat the Bucks in 5. Is that a little bit of the Heat was pretty good and the Bucks were way overrated? I think I think they're both true.
Yeah, I agree.
And the Celtics, we got to go back to, here we go again. I don't think you can win in the NBA with a 6-foot guard as your lead player.
Yeah, and I don't think they have enough size either, right?
Well, yeah, the perimeter. If you're going to have a 6-foot guard, you got to have a rim protector that's a beast.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they didn't have that. They were weak in the interior. They were weak on the perimeter. And they got to make some moves because Tatum and Brown are elite wings. So they're going to have to do something. They're going to have to do something. Now, as far as Miami versus the Lakers, the eye test, the Lakers will smoke them. Now,
I hope not.
well, I understand, but I think they will. But now let's back up.
Uh-huh.
We just talked about the Heat beating the Bucks in 5. We just talked about the Heat beating the Celtics in 6. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this team isn't some team you're just going to walk in the gym and roll over.
Yeah.
So the Lakers are going to have to play. Now, the interesting thing about this matchup is Spo and LeBron. Spo probably knows LeBron better than anybody other than maybe Pop.
Yeah. Spo and Pat Riley.
Yes, they know his tendencies. So it's going to be interesting to see how they how they play LeBron, I think they'll take the rim away from him as far as no straight line drives. So that'll be interesting.
Is AD at this point? Is he the best Laker? Is LeBron still there? I mean, going into this series, I look at AD as coming out Finals MVP. Do you agree?
Here's what my tweets have been. I've said all year, and I got roasted. AD is the best Lakers player. LeBron James is the Lakers MVP.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It all go.
LeBron makes it all go, but AD is their best player.
Yeah, I agree with that. Now, about this Lakers team, let's see. So let's talk a little bit LeBron's legacy. We expect the Lakers to win this series. Is 4-6 that much better than 3-7? I mean, for LeBron to come out with a ring, as you said, such a tough environment and all that, and then to win a championship for 3 different teams, a lot will be said about LeBron win or loss coming out of the series.
See, to me, it don't make no difference. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
3-6, 3-7, 4-6, 4-7, whatever it is.
Yeah.
LeBron's got a couple of issues with me. Great of all, I don't know how he passes Tim Duncan.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Because the head-to-head final. Now, the greatest basketball player that my eyes have ever seen is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, if we're going to just talk pure basketball player.
Okay.
And then Wilt Chamberlain is 1B by a step. Those are the 2 greatest basketball players my eyes have ever seen. I'll give you an example. If you put Wilt Chamberlain on the floor today, all them straight line drives you see in these playoffs every team is getting, that shit is over at midnight with Wilt on there, because that ain't happening. He just takes that away. So when you have players like a Duncan or Bill Russell that take that rim away, now they flip the script on you, made you a perimeter player. That changes the narrative when you get into the final. So back to your original question: does it help LeBron? Does it hurt LeBron? Look, LeBron's a top player. I don't do lists.
Mm-hmm.
I just tell people that Kareem and Wilt. I have Kareem 1, Wilt 2, Jordan 3. Now you guys can start your list. I don't care. Because we can argue all day about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Magic's in 12 finals in 9 years, 5 chips. Larry Bird might have the greatest 3-year run that my eyes ever seen when he was MVP 3 years in a row.
Yeah, damn.
So when everybody starts telling me to goat this, goat that, forget it. It's not going to happen.
I agree. I was having a conversation with someone earlier this week that said for him it's between Jordan and Kobe, and I'm like, I think I'm more like you. I think there's like potentially 10 people in that list. Like I agree, Kareem, Wilt, Russell, Magic, Jordan, Kobe, Duncan, Shaq, even Bird. There's a lot of great names that I've seen. Akeem, the things Akeem Olajuwon did.
No, there's a name. Now there's a guy gets no respect.
Yeah.
Akeem was a beast.
Yeah.
The 2 most underrated players in the NBA, in my mind, in the history, is Moses Malone and Rick Barry.
Yeah. I need to check out more on Rick Barry, but Moses Malone I definitely agree with. And I've seen you tweeting a lot about Rick Barry.
Rick Barry had the best skill set my eyes have ever seen, other than maybe Bird.
Wow.
The guy was an automatic from the free throw line. Great shooter, great passer. Magic and Bird would light up in his freedom of movement 3 line. Soft. And now, let me bring up another point: the soft rim. Understand, Barry played on the tight rim. The hard rim is a big difference compared to the breakaway rim.
Mm-hmm.
People forget about that. Those guys shot on a hard rim.
No, and people talk about. I have this debate all the time about comparing eras and how they say, bigger, stronger, faster. That goes to this era. My biggest arguments for that is look at Lakers or Magic Shaq would just dominate this league right now. And then let's throw prime Reggie Miller into this league right now. What would he do? Like crazy.
That's a good point. Reggie Miller's another name that don't come up if he played in this era. Yeah,
absolutely. I love talking about those guys. So let's look at so LeBron recently said that it doesn't matter to him at all going up against Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra, and the Heat organization that he won his first championship with, Do you buy that he doesn't care at all going up against his team? I don't buy that. I think that he wants to stick it to Spo and Riley and those guys.
I sent a tweet out after Miami won. This year's finals will be great for one reason. It's personal.
Yeah.
It's personal. This is personal. You know, Spo has won without LeBron. Now, if he gets a chip without LeBron, see, LeBron tried to get rid of Spo.
Yeah. That first year, right? He was bumping into him and stuff.
Yeah, he wanted to get rid of me. He didn't tell Pat Riley to get rid of him, but he asked Pat Riley would he be interested in coaching again.
Yeah.
Pat Riley told him no. Pat Riley's a G. Pat Riley's a G. I guarantee he wants to.
I got mad respect for Pat Riley.
First of all, Pat Riley as a player was a G. Pat Riley was Jerry West goon. He would come in as that third guard and he would beat guards down, especially if you gave West a hard time. He was West goon.
Then, all right, let's go back to Jimmy Butler for a second. I'm a Bulls fan, right? And I loved that Rose, Butler, Noah, Powell team that went up against the LeBron Cavs. And I always hold it against the Bulls organization for not believing in Jimmy Butler and not, building the team around him. So this doesn't surprise me much. I'm a big Jimmy Butler fan. What's your thoughts on Jimmy Butler? And do you think he has enough to be that guy to win a championship, that A1 star to win a championship? I mean, he's got Bam and guys like that, but.
Let me ask you a question. Do you see Butler as a Batman or a Robin?
Ideally as a Robin, I think.
I tweeted this the other night. Butler is better being a Robin. Can he be Batman on Miami's team? Yes. But he's better suited to be a Robin to a Batman.
And this is why I would have loved to see Kawhi join up with Butler instead of Paul George.
Well, didn't Kawhi want I think if the truth is to be known, Kawhi wanted KD first.
Yeah. That would have been
KD, yeah, but KD wants to get his own chip. KD caught a lot of hell for joining the Warriors, and there's a lot of pressure on KD. KD's got to get a chip as the dog.
Yeah.
Because if he don't, how's KD's legacy going to play out if he don't win another chip?
I mean, I'm not in the camp that those rings don't count, because it was interesting to me that Durant comes in and it's obvious he's the best guy, the alpha dog on the court.
Warriors might not. I don't think the Warriors win without Durant.
Yeah. So I do hold, and he had to beat LeBron to get those rings. That's no joke. He had to beat LeBron, Kyrie, Love team to win.
Let's go back to Game 7, Warriors-Cavs. 4 minutes and 36 seconds left. Warriors don't score another point. Cleveland only scores 2, I think.
Yeah.
Steph and Clay don't get a bucket. Warriors knew right then they had to get a dude that could go get them a bucket against a team like LeBron and the Cavs. They went and got KD because they had to have that cat that can go get a bucket. Now, Steph Curry's great. I love Steph Curry. Steph Curry's elite and top. And Warriors fans fight me all the time. Curry. Let's go back to what I said about AD and Magic. AD and LeBron. Curry's what made the Warriors go, but come on. KD was the man on that team when push comes to shove. He's 7 feet tall and get a bucket.
Yeah, and can shoot that three like that. Indefensible jump shot.
Yeah, so I get a lot of help for that. But, I mean, Curry's Curry, and, Curry's got his own legacy. And if Curry gets another ring, then we got some problems because now Curry's going to shoot even farther up at where he's at.
Yeah. I like that core. I still think – you think there's any chance the Warriors can convince Giannis to come over?
I don't know. See, I don't know if that's a good thing for them because they're going to have to gut their roster, and Clay's got to go. See, I don't want – see, to me, Steph and Clay are off the table. There's no way the Warriors can move them to – unless Kay's knee's not the same and he regressed a little bit. But they got issues with Draymond Green they got to figure out.
Well, I got to bring up Draymond Green. I'm a big Michigan State fan, right? So I was all about Draymond Green, like in those championships with Golden State. I thought he was the Rodman to that team that brought that mental toughness and but I agree with you. He's gone crazy the last year or so, and now he's like team clutch. It's ridiculous.
Well, first of all, his game isn't worth the aggravation now. If Draymond Green would have done this 3 years ago, you put up with it.
Mm-hmm.
But today, why do we have to put up with it? He's not. I don't think he's close to the player he used to be.
Yeah.
On both sides of the ball, I think he's still a great team defender, but I don't think he's a good on-ball defender in space. I watched Luka Doncic take him out in space and just blitz him.
Yeah. I was disappointed with the going for the ball instead of playing the man on Siakam there at the end of Game 6.
Well, he wasn't good in the finals. They boxed in one step with him on the floor. He had over 20 turnovers.
Yeah.
He had a key block in that one game. But look, in the NBA, you can't win 4 versus 5 on either side of the ball. The Celtics found out with Kemba, and the Warriors are going to find out with Green. See, the Warriors got away with Green last year, not last year, the year before, because you had 3 superstars. Katie masked a lot of Green's deficiencies. Now Katie's gone. Everybody's going to slide a different direction. Steph Curry's going to see doubles everywhere he goes. He's going to see different doubles. And what I mean by different doubles, he's going to catch the same double he's always got. But if he beats that double, he's now going to have Green's man sitting in the mud waiting on him. So he's actually got to be 2 doubles and another guy. Green's man's not going to guard him. And people don't realize that. Warriors fans do not understand how much they're going to miss KD until they see it with their eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks that that's where Green's game has gotten to, because I was a big fan in his prime.
Well, the thing that bothers me about Green, he has the yips on layups now. He don't attack the rim no more. He don't want no part of a layup.
Yeah.
He'd rather kick out. Now, in transition, Draymond Green's as good as it gets still today.
Mm-hmm.
You put the ball in his hand in transition with Clay and Wiggins and Steph on the floor. Okay, Green's going to still be good.
Do you think that's a mental thing for Draymond? Like he's lost confidence?
Oh, he's definitely lost confidence because teams will guard him and stand 10 feet away from him, and he just stands over and waits for cutters in the corner. He's an NBA player.
Yeah.
First of all, if I had NBA teams not guarding me from the 3 line, you can best believe my ass ain't on talk shows this summer. I'm in the goddamn gym. I don't understand. See, that's what I don't get about him. He's talking about Kerr said he couldn't shoot. 29 other NBA teams say the same thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of Michigan State, Speaking of Michigan State, Tom Izzo's the best.
Yeah.
I've had a couple little hours with him before when he's been out recruiting. He's a gentleman. His basketball IQ's through the roof. He's a great man.
Yeah, I love me some Izzo. What do you think of the evolution of the game? So I'm a big 90s fan where they played defense and everything was hard fought and they didn't just give you fouls. They didn't give you, you had to earn a trip to the line. Even the 2000s was that way. Even the early 2010s, I felt like, were pretty competitive still. I've seen a lot in the last couple of years of transition to, if you can hit the open 3, you're out there, and that's pretty much all you need to do. And the touch fouls and that stuff is just it's making it tough for me to watch, less enjoyable.
The way the rules are set up now in the freedom of movement defense, in a regular season game at 62, I think I can get 12.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious.
Seriously,
I'll just stand in the corner. Because, the NBA, first of all, the rules are set up not to guard.
Yeah, I hate that.
But then when you get in the playoffs, it does change a little bit, which is weird to me because sometimes then they start calling – they call touch fouls in the regular season. And sometimes, like when you watch Curry, he gets the hell beat out of him.
Yeah, it is weird.
It is. Curry's the one superstar doesn't get any calls when he gets contact. Kyrie gets calls. Even Murray gets called. But I don't know. Maybe it's because Curry's so frail when he takes contact. Maybe I don't know. I don't understand it.
It's weird how they pick and choose. I always thought I liked Celtics Rondo a lot, and I always felt like he didn't get the benefit of the calls either. Well,
I don't like this. Like Green said the other day on Twitter, Murray doesn't get that call from LeBron yet. Well, wait a minute. A foul's a foul.
Yes, exactly.
And that's why the NBA. That's why a lot of people don't watch the NBA because of the
Yeah,
refereeing.
yeah. I'm always gonna watch. I'm just gonna complain about it if I don't like stuff.
Tell me about Levine. I want to ask you one question. Tell me
Yeah,
what's your take. What's your take on Levine?
on Levine, I'm not as sold on Levine. I'm more of a Devin Booker guy, to be honest. You know, I I haven't watched as much Bulls basketball of late because I've been so mad at the organization. Now that they finally got rid of Garpax, they got a new GM, they got a new head coach, which I love that hire, and Bill Donovan. Um, I'm more of I like Kobe, the point guard, and
Okay.
I like Wendell Carter. I'm not a huge fan. Maybe Markkanen in today's NBA. I don't know. What's your take on Levine?
A shooter that don't guard doesn't make
Yes.
the players better.
Yes. Yeah.
He doesn't guard. He couldn't guard a chair in a timeout.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. I think he can guard. Let me back up. He can guard. I don't think he has any interest in guard. See,
Yeah.
that's. I'll tell you what drives me nuts. And this is Trae Young and Levine, and there's a lot of guys like this.
Yeah.
They have no interest in guarding. They have no interest in playing basketball unless the ball's in their hand.
Yeah. One way.
LaMelo Ball's another one. LaMelo Ball's another one. If the ball's not in his hands, I don't know if he knows what the hell to do.
Yeah. It's sad. Trey Young's an unbelievable talent, but yeah, he doesn't play any defense.
No, he don't even have any interest in playing defense.
Yeah.
See, to me, if you're going to be 6 feet tall and you're going to play on my team, you better be able to get in that other point guard's ass on defense. Otherwise,
Yep.
I can't play you because I can't hide you.
And that's a different type of thinking. Nowadays, they don't care. Like, these coaches allow you to get away with not playing defense. They allow you to take bad shot after bad shot after bad shot. They don't bench players like they used to, I don't think.
Well, bad organizations don't.
Yeah.
See, that's the problem. Most NBA teams are bad organizations. They draft bad. First of all, if I walked in any gym, if Izzo called me on the phone and said, "Ricky, go find me a guard,"
Mm-hmm.
I'm not walking in the gym. If there's a 6-foot guard getting 40 a game, I don't care. I don't want him.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather have a 6'3", 6'4" long guard that's getting 15 to 18
Mm-hmm.
that can defend.
Yeah.
And see, people disagree with me. I'm not interested in a 6-foot guard that can get 30. It doesn't do anything for me.
Because I think defense, you got to have that dog in you. You got to have that want, that love for the game. The offense is pretty and easy.
Well, that's Lowry and Van Fleet and Lowry do that. They're small guards, but they guard you. They
Yeah.
get into you.
Yeah.
And Bledsoe gets into you. He's another small guard that'll get into you.
Yeah.
Rondo will get into you.
Rondo is, I think he's an underrated part of what the Lakers are doing too. Playoff Rondo, and that because of his defense, he's been able to last in the league so much longer than normal.
Well, and his IQ's through the roof.
Yeah, he's gonna be a great coach one day.
Rondo's a rain man.
Yeah. So looking at this finals, I can't wait. So you don't think it's gonna be too competitive? How many games do you think it goes?
No. I think the Lakers are the best team. I wouldn't be shocked if the Lakers smoked them in 5.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, if I'm stuck in a 6 or 7 game series and Miami gets blown out twice and gets 2 or 3 wins too.
Mm-hmm.
See, I can see the Lakers blowing Miami out twice, and I can see Miami winning 2 buzzer beaters.
Yeah.
See, I think the Lakers' length might bother Hero. And, those guys got a lot of open looks in Boston. I'm not sure they get those open looks. See, one of the Lakers' weaknesses, in my view, is the shifty, quick guard that can penetrate.
Mm-hmm.
Miami don't have that. Now
Yeah.
they got a big, strong guard in Dragic, but I think he plays in the Lakers' hands because when he gets that 10 to 12-foot pull up in the lane, that little lob or that layup, he puts his shoulder into the defender, gets a layup.
Yeah.
He's looking at AD and Howard when he does that. I'm not sure that's going to work out for him.
Yeah, that's the underrated part of the Lakers, that size and length. Dwight Howard, McGee, AD, all those guys down there.
They got a lot of length.
What do you think about Bam Adebayo in this series?
I like him, future superstar. He's a
Yeah.
kid. He's young. He's raw. He 2 years from now, he will be so much better than he is today, and that's scary.
Yeah.
Now, if they get Giannis to the free agent market, You can stop the league right there. You put Bam with Giannis and Butler.
Yeah, that would be fun to watch. I would sign up for that in a heartbeat. You think you think he's out of Milwaukee for sure?
I don't know.
Yeah.
If he is, if Giannis leaves on his terms, it's going to be Miami or Dallas. Why wouldn't he go to Dallas and play with? Why wouldn't he play with Luka and Porzingis?
Yeah, Luka opened my eyes. See, I haven't watched enough Luka, and watching him in the playoffs opened my eyes. I was like, damn, this guy.
He's a dude.
Yeah, he is.
He's the only guy in the NBA that controls the pace of the game besides LeBron James.
Yeah.
Luka and LeBron James put brakes on the NBA game. Nobody else can do that.
That's crazy. I never would have thought of that, Luka coming into the league.
I didn't see it coming.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to go. I agree with you, though. You can't really pick the Heat to win it, even though I want it to be competitive. I'm going to say Lakers in 6. Who's your finals MVP?
Oh, that's already done. The only way LeBron don't get it is he breaks his ankle. I wouldn't be shocked if LeBron. I can see Miami winning. They still give it to LeBron.
Yeah, seriously.
I hate the Finals MVP award. You got 7 to 10 media people that vote for it. It's a joke.
Yeah.
I don't. It's a joke. But LeBron's capable. I will say LeBron's been good though in the playoffs. He's had some big games.
Yeah. See, he gets hated on because of the finals record and the 2011 and certain moments like that. But you have to appreciate his talent because he's unlike anything we've ever seen before as far as his style of play, the way he plays the game. He's been incredibly blessed with staying healthy. That's huge.
Well, yeah, no, if it wasn't for his cult, I would like LeBron a little more. The problem with LeBron is his freaking cult that follows him.
Yeah, his fans and all that. They're ridiculous on Twitter.
They've been watching the NBA for a couple of weeks, and they want to tell me the history of the NBA. That's where they push me off the edge.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, but I can't wait. It's going to be a hell of a series. Lakers Heat. I hope it's good. Like you said, the bad blood, they want to stick it to each other. The Heat coaching staff and management against LeBron and the Lakers. So I hope it's good.
Well, let me leave you with this. I'm looking at the action on the game 1. Right now, I'm looking. Let's see. Miami's catching all the cash and the action right now. The line is dropped. The line opened 5.5. It's down to 4.5 now. So Miami's getting all that. People see Miami. I don't see that.
I'm gonna be rooting for him. I'm gonna have a Heat jersey on. I'll tell you that much.
Hey, Alex, I appreciate you having me on, man. I'm gonna get some dinner and watch this. I guess I'm gonna watch these two clowns on this debate, see what they're gonna talk about.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for taking some time to come on my show. I had a blast.
Anytime, Alex. Thanks.
Yep, thank you. All right, appreciate the interview. Appreciate the support, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know what you think, and have a good one. Peace out.